Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are going to crack the code on one of the most critical parts of self-publishing, Amazon keywords. But here's the thing, we're not just going to guess. We are going straight to the source, using Amazon's official guidelines to make your book pop. Let's get into it.
So, you did it. You poured your heart and soul into writing a book. You went through the edits, you got that perfect cover, and you finally hit publish. That is a massive achievement. But then, that big question hits. In a digital bookstore with literally millions of other books, how do you make sure the right readers can actually find yours? It's a problem every single author faces.
Well, the answer really lies in your keywords. And these aren't just some random words you throw into a box and hope for the best. No, think of them as the digital signposts, the breadcrumb trail. Really, they're like a secret GPS that connects what a reader is searching for directly to your book's page. If you get these right, you've honestly won half the battle for getting discovered.
Okay, so what exactly is a keyword when we talk about Amazon? To make sure we are all on the same page, let's just look at Amazon's official definition. And this is really important because there's a key distinction we got to understand right from the start.
According to Amazon's KDP guidelines, keywords are simply the words or phrases that you enter into your book's metadata. That's all the back-end information you fill out when you upload your book. Their entire job, their only job, is to help the Amazon search engine match your book with what a reader is looking for. Now, this is a super important point on this slide. This is not the same thing as the keywords you'd use for paid Amazon ads. We're talking about the free, organic search terms that you control.
All right, before we dive into finding the perfect keywords, we have to talk about the rules of the road. Amazon is actually very, very clear about what you can and cannot do. And trust me, ignoring these rules can have some pretty serious consequences. So let's look at the official don'ts. You see, for Amazon, their #1 goal is a good customer experience. It's everything to them. So if your keywords are misleading, it just creates confusion, and frankly, it frustrates shoppers. And that's why they take these guidelines so seriously. Breaking them can, at best, mean your keywords just get ignored. But at worst, your book could get flagged or even suppressed from the search results altogether. So yeah, let's not do that.
First up, and this one's a biggie, using another author's name is completely off limits. I know. You wrote a fantastic horror novel, and you just know that fans of Stephen King would absolutely love it. But putting his name in your keywords, that is a major no-no. It's seen as misleading, and it's explicitly forbidden.
And it's the exact same deal for book titles. Just like you can't use another author's name, you also can't use the titles of other famous books. So even if your dystopian novel is the spiritual successor to The Hunger Games, you just can't put that title in your keywords. The whole idea is to describe the qualities and the genre of your book, not just name-drop a famous one to try and ride its coattails.
Okay, this one is so tempting, I get it, but it's a hard pass from Amazon. You have to avoid using those subjective promotional terms like best-selling or award-winning. Any claims about your book's performance or its sales rank just aren't allowed. That's for Amazon's algorithms and sales charts to figure out, not for you to put in your keywords.
And that goes for promotional stuff too. Your keywords are not the right place for temporary language about a sale, so avoid terms like free, on sale, or special deal. If you're running a promotion, Amazon's system will take care of flagging that for customers. Your keywords need to stay evergreen and just focus on what your book is actually about.
And finally, we have the golden rule that really covers everything else. Your keywords have to be relevant to your book's content, period. Trying to game the system by adding a popular but totally unrelated term, like putting notebook in the keywords for your epic sci-fi novel just because you know low-content books are popular, that's a direct violation. It has to accurately describe what is inside the cover.
Okay, so we've gone through a whole lot of don'ts. What about the do's? What should we be doing? Well, it's actually beautifully simple. Amazon gives us one core piece of advice, and it is the single most powerful strategy you can possibly use.
And there it is, straight from the horse's mouth. Think like a reader. That's it. That is everything. Forget trying to outsmart some complicated algorithm. Instead, just put yourself in the shoes of your ideal customer. What words, what phrases would they type into that Amazon search bar to find a book exactly like yours?
So how do we actually do that without any fancy paid tools? Let's walk through it. First, just brainstorm the guts of your story. So for a fiction book, maybe a cozy mystery, you'd think about the setting, like small-town library. Character type, amateur woman sleuth. Core theme, baking contest murder. And for nonfiction, say a cookbook, you'd think about the audience, maybe beginner vegan recipes. The problem you solve, quick weeknight meals, or a key feature, like 30-minute plant-based dinners. Step 2 is just to combine those ideas into the exact phrases a reader would type. And third, and this is a pro tip right from Amazon, use 2 to 3 word phrases. That is the absolute sweet spot for search.
Now, choosing great keywords is absolutely essential, but they don't exist in a vacuum, right? They're part of a much larger ecosystem. The whole goal of a keyword is to get a reader to click on your book, but the goal of your book page is to get them to actually buy it.
Think about it like this. Your keywords are like the awesome sign outside a shop that gets someone to walk in the door. But once they're inside, the store itself, your book's detail page, has to be compelling enough to make them pick something up and actually head to the checkout.
So according to Amazon's own resources, this whole discoverability ecosystem includes a few key things. First, you need a magnetic book description that really hooks the reader. Second, you should be using A+ content. That lets you add extra images and fancy text to your page to really make it pop. And third, you need to have a complete and professional-looking author central profile. All of these things work together with your keywords to build trust and ultimately drive sales.
Whew, we've covered a lot, from the rules to the main strategy. So to make all this super easy to apply, I've boiled down all of this official advice into a simple checklist you can use for every single book you publish.
Here it is. Before you hit that final publish button, just run down this list. Did I think like a reader? Are my keywords those effective 2 to 3 word phrases? Is every single keyword 100% relevant? And then a quick double check that I avoid all the prohibited stuff. No author names, no book titles, no promotional claims like bestseller or free. This simple little check can save you a world of headache and make your keywords so much more powerful.
So, I'll leave you with this one question. Sitting here right now thinking about your book, what are the first 3 phrases your ideal reader would type into Amazon to find it? Don't overthink it. Just think like a reader. That right there is your starting point for mastering discoverability, the official Amazon way.